I am back. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, long time no see. This whole COVID situation has proved to be pretty mentally devastating for a lot of us, and I thought it would make a nice little video to talk about the games which I have been playing over the past quarter to relieve some of the stress, and not really go too deep into the specifics, as generally speaking I like to do more in-depth dive-ins for older games, and recently I have only been playing some of the more recent titles. But without any further ado, let's talk about the games which I have been going through lately. First up, we have Resident Evil 3, the 2020 remake. As a game, it was mostly what I expected it to be. A cut-down version of the original Resident Evil 3 story with the gameplay concepts and graphics from the Resident Evil 2 2019 remake. The content that Capcom has put into the game is great, and the amount of polish that they gave to the game is wonderful. The controls are tight in just the right ways, graphics are amazing, audio work is stellar, and the whole gameplay just oozes of quality. The only real downside to the game is that it's just too damn short. I finished it in around 5 hours of in-game playtime, and that really shows the amount of story content that they had to cut in order to push it out in time. Or at least I think they had a time limit, because otherwise it's not really excusable for a €60 game. Yeah, for €60 you get around 5 hours of gameplay. Excellent gameplay, but still, just 5 hours. Sure, you also get some additional content to go through, some collectibles to hunt, and even a multiplayer standalone game to go along with it. But how long will that keep you busy? Anyways, it's a great game, but too damn short and definitely not worth the €60 of asking price. Then I managed to finish up Amnesia Rebirth, which I was really excited about ever since its announcement. Too bad that the end product ended up being a mediocre game in a rather boring setting for my personal taste. In the original Amnesia: The Dark Descent, you rummaged through an abandoned castle. Almost for the duration of the whole game, you were going through dark, gloomy, atmospheric, and sometimes horrifying rooms with mutilated monsters on your trail, and you were almost constantly on the edge of being subtly freaked out. I feel like Rebirth had too bright of a setting, with the sunny desert and the overall warm tone to its levels. There were quite a few encounters with the monsters, luckily, which felt pretty terrifying in the most pleasant of ways. Some of them even when you did not actually see the enemies, but had to make a run for it. The issue with those encounters, though, was that after they were over, you were almost always put into a well-lit room to calm your nerves, which is kind of a bad thing for a horror title. What I also didn't like was the fact that the game's engine simply sucks.
Nice fucking model!
It's running on OpenGL, which is fine, but on Linux with a 6800 XT, I could not get it to stop micro-stuttering, which would sometimes show its ugly head also on the Windows version. In addition to that, the game is locked to 60 FPS max. Why? Please, allow the frame rates to be unlocked if you develop your games. I know that there is a halfway workaround for the 60 FPS limit noted in the PC Gaming Wiki, but that did not work for me for whatever reason, and after an hour I just give up on it. Anyways, they ask around €25 for this game, and I completed it in around 8 hours. If you're looking for a decent enough horror title to spend your time with, you could probably do worse than Amnesia Rebirth. It's your money after all. Next up is Don't Not Entertainment's Tell Me Why, and this one is for a very specific type of player base, which I happen to be part of. It's essentially a full-on story-driven experience with minor choices to make which affect the experience in some ways or another. So if you're looking for gameplay, you're not gonna find much here. The story though, it's a great one, and you can download the first chapter of the game for free if you're interested in going for a test drive before you decide on the purchase. It tells a story of two twins who return to their old home in order to sell the place and solve the mystery behind their mother's death back when they were kids. From my personal opinion, the story is excellent and definitely worth experiencing if you like Don't Not's previous games like the Life is Strange series, though I felt like they could have done a bit more with the Mad Hatter and maybe made the choices you make a bit more impactful, as this time around it didn't really feel like the choices had that much of an impact on the whole story. Anyways, €17 for the whole game, and you can try the first chapter for free on Steam. Definitely worth a look if you're someone who loves these type of games. I also finished up Doom Eternal after hearing so many good things about it, and well, it's like Doom 2016 on steroids. They definitely changed the gameplay up with all the toys you get to play around with, and after completing the game on ultra-violent setting, I can say that I loved every minute of it, except for the very last level, which is just bullshit. It's like they got tired of making interesting enemy compositions and then simply threw everything at you all at once in a never-ending wave. The music was good. I wouldn't say that it was better than Doom 2016, but it was up there trying to trade blows with it from time to time. I think that the overall music mixing was done better on the previous release, and well, we cannot really talk about Doom's music without mentioning the BFG division now, can we? To my surprise, it's actually there for a good 15 seconds or so in a tiny level. But all in all, the gameplay is excellent, the graphics are excellent, runs on Linux, just excellent, and is one of the few modern FPS titles which I really like. I did not complete the expansion packs called The Ancient Gods Part 1 and 2 though, as roughly 2 hours into the first expansion I got tired of the generic copy-paste level design and gameplay. They literally have you walk from arena to arena with long battle sequences, and after completing the base game I was just too tired from the flow of it. If they had some breather rooms and more interesting level design with good enemy combos during these encounters, then I would look into it further, but based on those first 2 hours, it's just copy-paste all over the place and that's really not that interesting for me. Anyways, they ask €60 for the game and it gets 50% discounts from time to time. I managed to complete the base game with every challenge and collectible ticked off the list in around 22 hours. Even without the discount, I would say get it. If you're into FPS titles and also love multiplayer with customizable skins and weekly challenges, even more reasons to get it, as it has those as well. But I guess what matters the most is that Doom Eternal really is the pinnacle of fast-paced first-person shooters of our time, and there's no denying that. But what have you been playing recently? Care to recommend a game for a more in-depth look? Or know a game which is so poorly optimized that you would rather sell off one of your testicles than suffer through it? Yeah, I'm looking for the worst of the worst in PC gaming optimizations, so let me know in the comments below and don't be a stranger. Hope all is well, and I wish you a lovely rest of your day, whenever, wherever you are. Bye bye.